Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and this video is intended to be a response to Night of the Creepy Monster Squad, the wife of my good friend Joe TJ Pyramid. How you doing, Tina? I found very fascinating your video talking about phobias and the kind of phobias people have, and in fact, a couple of the ones that you mentioned are ones that either I or my sister share. Specifically with my sister, she has a very similar sort of feeling when thinking about how small we are, how infinitesimal we are on this world that is, circulating at so many thousands of miles an hour in this huge galaxy and everything like that in the universe. She has spoken to me before about having a phobia along those lines and how it really creeps her out. And I always find that fascinating because I don't actually share that one, although the one with the spiders, hell yes, I hate spiders. I'll even take it a step further. I'm not a fan of snakes either. But a long time ago, I had this dream of floating out in the middle of the ocean at night. There were no clouds. It was a starry sky and everything. And usually I find, I have a romanticism with looking up at the stars and everything like that. But I was in the middle of nowhere, scared out of my mind that I would never be found again. I was lost at sea in a sense. And there was a whale that I could hear whale song like vibrating up from beneath me, and I was terrified. What could this be? Even though I knew it was probably a whale and it wouldn't eat me. And in the dream, this whale sort of came up above the water, sidled up next to me, and its giant eye, almost twice as big as I was glaring at me, almost like peering into my soul, and it just really, really rocked me with terror, and so that's been a long time thing. I'm not afraid of water. I've never been afraid of water. I used to love swimming in the pool when I had one available, and it's just been a really heart-wrenching sort of phobia to have, this idea of being out in the middle of nowhere, in the sea, or even in the desert, but more specifically with all the unknowns of that deepness of the water and everything like that. What you do know if you've seen movies like Jaws and stuff, even though the statistics say that's unlikely to happen, moreover than not, shark attacks and what have you, that is definitely one of my strongest phobias. Another one that actually has developed during the time that my sister and we had to fend off the state and go to court because I was trying to become her guardian after we lost our parents, which we did very early in life. It got to the point where we would have many sort of unannounced visits from the state and stuff like that, and they would bang on the door mercilessly when we lived in the house previously to our apartment where we live now. They would almost try to break in if we didn't answer the door immediately, and it got to the point where it scares me to hear door knocks of any type, because usually it's going to be bad news. That's how it's been sort of built up in my mind. It's created a phobia over just the last maybe 15, 20-ish years, and that's weird for me. It's weird for me to think of like a phobia as not something that can be ingrained in you from birth, but rather this is something that has developed in adulthood, and it's just very sort of interesting to me. Another one of my sisters that I always think is fascinating is she has a phobia of walking over like storm drains, or like when we used to go swimming, the sort of vents in the bottom of the deep end of the pool. She has always found it very scary to walk over them for the fear of, maybe falling through them or getting trapped or something. You've heard about stories, children and smaller people getting trapped in a well or what have you, even animals. And I think there's something, intrinsic to that as far as why she has that as a phobia. And it's just a very interesting thing that some of the things that scare us, sometimes they seem so outlandish. Like, I'm kind of a germaphobe. It's very weird because I'm kind of a specific germaphobe in that when it comes to like cleaning up food and dishes and dinnerware and stuff like that, unless I have thick like rubber yellow gloves or something that I know I won't get anything on my hands, I am petrified to go near it. I can't go near, food waste and stuff like that without needing some kind of gloves or protective wear. It's very interesting to me the way the mind works. And so I wanted to contribute to the discussion of these phobias and sometimes how weird they are, sometimes how they can be like a vice grip over our lives and keep us from doing things, whether it's, sometimes I've had a social phobia where I can't stand to make phone calls, but I need to make phone calls, so like I have to pressure myself to get through it. Same goes with if I know there's going to be like a get-together that I have to go to. I'm usually pretty much petrified of going because I don't really like interacting with people in a group format. I don't mind one-on-one so much, especially if I get to know the person a little bit, but these are just fascinating facets for me of the human mind, of the psyche, and I hope I contributed something interesting to the discussion, Tina. I hope you are well. I hope you will send my best wishes to your husband, Joe. Very fortunate to know you both, and otherwise, that'll be it from me, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.